definitely been on the court, where some gunshots came out of nowhere, and those kind of moments made me who I am, man. Made me the kind of person I am today. The last couple of years has definitely been very, very tough for me, man. My love for the game, is what keeps me going. Nah, for sure. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's cool. For me, it's the reason I came. The players, like these guys, like welcome me with open arms, man. Like treating me really well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Crossover with the Joe Arlauckas. And I know I say that we have a special guest all the time, but this time it's a little bit different because I got a 4-time NBA All-Star showing up. I just couldn't wait to share this podcast with my listeners. Welcome to the Crossover. I'm gonna call him Easy Pass, call him Cardiac Kemba, call him what you want, but right now I'm just gonna call him Kemba Walker. My man, first of all, welcome to the show. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with me.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
What is it? Is it cardiac Kemba or is it Easy Pass? Come on, because I've heard them all, and I'm from New York. I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm not your part of New York. I'm from upstate New York, which really doesn't count. But when you live in Europe and someone says where you're from, I can't say Rochester because no one knows what that is. You know what I mean? So I just say New York. So
it counts. It counts.
I know. To me, it counts, but when I say Rochester, they just kind of look at me like that's not New York. But because Easy Pass, the people don't know, Easy Pass is like one of those little things you put on your car when you're going through the toll booths because there's so many toll booths in New York, or it's Cardiac Kemba because of the shot I think you made against was it against Pitt?
Against Pitt, yeah.
So which one do you prefer?
It don't matter. I go by either, I guess. It just really depends on where I'm at.
Right.
More so at home, people know me as Easy Pass. If when I was younger playing in Rucker Park, that's where I got the nickname from.
Okay.
And then Cardiac is from the shot against Pittsburgh in the quarterfinals in the Garden. And that's kind of what got me on the scene, I guess, from college, and got me to the next level and kind of got what got me more recognition in my basketball career.
Right.
Was that shot and that nickname. So I love them both.
We're gonna get it, but because Easy Pass, it could be either someone who dishes the rock all the time, or it could be someone who just blows by people.
Yeah.
And I think you got a little bit of both of those. That's why I like Easy Pass better. But Cardiac always means that you're putting games away.
Sure.
Yeah. I think I've been doing this for 5 or 6 seasons now, doing this podcast, man. I really enjoy talking to you guys. And I played for 12 years. I've met everybody who's played here now, man. And like when you came to Madrid a couple of weeks ago to play against Madrid, and I went up and introduced myself to you, even though you didn't know what we were doing yet at that time, which is kind of funny. I felt nervous. I'm like, man, it's Kemba Walker. I got to go up and say hello to Kemba Walker. And I'm with my son next to me. He's like, man, just go up and say hello to him and shut up. Like, you never get nervous. Why do I feel nervous coming up and say hello to you?
Man, I don't know. It's no need to be nervous though.
You just seem like one of those guys that, to me, when I was pretty much done playing, you made that run, and we'll talk about that run in a minute. But man, I was always just amazed by you and that whole team and what y'all did. But what I want to start with is your family life. I want to start with your mom and dad. Like, how important were they to you? I know I read about, and we did a lot of research on you that your dad's just like a basketball freak.
Yeah.
Did he push you towards the game? I mean, because he was a carpenter, right? I mean, he didn't really. At least he said he played, but
yeah, he said he played. He still to this day he said he played.
But
I never really seen any footage or anything like that. But I heard he was pretty good. A lot of his friends tell me he was pretty good and stuff like that.
Wait, so how old was your dad when you were growing up? Y'all never played together?
A little bit, but nothing too serious though. Nothing too serious. I've always been pretty fast, so I didn't want to hurt his knees or anything like that. So You know.
Give me a scouting report on your dad.
Uh, uh,
Could he go left?
I don't know. More, he was a ball handler. He was a ball handler.
Okay.
The jump shot wasn't really. The jump shot was okay. But
So you're playing off of him until he makes two or three.
a little bit from what I seen, he more so like he liked to get guys involved for the most part. I'm thinking
Okay.
that was more his game. Yeah.
And what about you came from the Soundview area,
Yes, sir.
and your mom was a healthcare worker also,
She's working in a nursing home. Yep.
nursing home, and I mean, it just seems like a lot of people from the Bronx that grow up, and I'm saying this in a way because I grew up in upstate New York, man. They didn't have a strong family, coming from some certain places. I played with guys all the time that you just kind of looked at them like, damn, man, that dude can play.
Yeah.
And whether they didn't have the support at home or whatever, how important was that support for you to have at home?
It was everything. It was everything. I was still, I'm still blessed, to be able to have both my parents in my life, them be together, and have both of their support it means everything. A lot of people, aren't very fortunate enough to have that support,
Yeah.
from both parents. So for me to have it is special. It's really special, and they mean everything to me, and they've been the best, throughout my whole life, throughout my career. Their support has meant everything. So yeah,
That
really.
is great, man. This is the same way I felt. And neither one of your parents are from the States, right?
No, nope.
They're both from Antigua.
Yeah, yeah. My mom was born in St. Croix.
She was born in St. Croix, and they live next to each other. I heard, right?
Yeah, yep, yep.
And how old were they when they came to New York, and what they come to New York for?
Um, how old they were, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I don't know the exact age. I
Now
never.
you're just like me, man. I never worried about my family history. I'm just
Yeah,
worried about today and tomorrow.
but they were pretty young, I believe. And then, I mean, I'm sure my mom came because of her mom. My grandmother, she came.
Okay,
I mean, I can't tell you why, but
right.
you know,
So they came over and their kids with their parent, with their
yes,
family.
yes,
Okay, so it goes back generations.
yeah, yep, yep, yep.
And when did you start hooping?
For as long as I can remember,
What did you do anything else? Were you other than dancing? We'll get into that in a minute. But
knew
did
that
you,
was coming.
you know I'm not gonna let that one go.
Yeah.
But
No, that was it. In New York, we don't. In the city, it's
there's nowhere to do anything else.
nothing but concrete. It ain't much.
Right.
It ain't much greenery or anything like that. You already know it's basketball courts on every corner. Um,
Right.
Especially where I'm from in my neighborhood, it's courts all around there. So no, I didn't do anything else. Just basketball and, like you said, a little bit of dancing when I was young.
Right. I mean, I'm not. Again, upstate New York has nothing to do with the Bronx or with Manhattan or New York, whatever. But I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff on the court, man. I've seen guns pulled out. I've seen people stabbed. And this
Hmm.
is upstate New York I'm talking about. What's some of the craziest stuff you've ever seen out on just the playground?
Um, Pretty much the same. Pretty much the
The-
same. I mean, definitely been on the court, where some gunshots
uh,
came out of nowhere.
right.
That's happened before. But been really, really fortunate to survive
Yeah.
those moments. And those kind of moments made me who I am, man. Made me the kind of person I am today. Now,
And number one, I think it's just playing against those guys that makes you tougher.
oh
That
yeah,
makes
no
you
question.
that makes you man up. Like I
Question.
had this image when I was playing in high school. It was like I don't know if you remember that they used to call it the Pillsbury Doughboy. You had a little dough guy, the
Yeah,
little fat
yeah,
little dough guy, because they said I was soft.
But they called you that.
Yeah, they called me that. They called me that. My coaches called me that. They're like, man, you got to man up a little bit. And they put me out on these courts to play, man. I got addicted to it, man. I'd be out there till like 4 or 5 in the morning balling out, you know. And you know how it is. You can't lose because you got five more teams waiting to get on the court.
Yeah,
So man, you got to play because
yeah,
you
for
have to
sure.
win that game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some good moments out there, man. Definitely. Like playing with the older guys is that's like a lot of the reason, why I was able to be successful, in my career. I think just the toughness and the fearlessness. Those guys didn't really care. Like, especially I was young, like push me around, talk trash,
Right.
and in my neighborhood, we had some really good basketball players, to be honest. So yeah, man, it was really fun. It was a lot of fun playing, in my neighborhood and just around the city in general. It was really cool.
What once you became Kemba Walker, I mean, you were already Kemba Walker, obviously, but once you really became Kemba Walker, you became this easy pass guy, whatever, and you do your thing in Connecticut. Was it more difficult for you to go out and play in those places because then people were coming after you? That's what happened to me.
No,
I
not
f-
really. Actually, it was actually easier because I don't know. I just had like this confidence, I had this
uh,
confidence that I was good. That I know I could go out there and really, be better and dominate and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, it was easier. And then, just the feeling of like just going back. Like I will always
right.
go back. Like after college, after my freshman year, like I would go back playing Dykeman, playing hoops in the sun, playing Rucker, like just playing everything. Like, I was just so excited for people to, just see where, how far my game has come.
Right.
That was really what it was for me. And you just get that feeling you miss it. Like street ball that's where I started. That's where I
hmm
started. So, I wanted to continue to go out there as much as I could. So, it was some good times, man.
Man, when I remember playing at Niagara University, which is up in Niagara Falls, and I used to play in the city all the time and everything else, like I said. But then I went this one place in Buffalo because they call it Randy Smith. It's like I mean, it ain't Rucker Park by any means. Let's not get that wrong. But it was like the double A or the triple A version of Rucker Park, man. And I just got out there, man. I was like the only white dude out there, and they got the guy on the microphone, like calling the games, and like I got dunked on one time, and one time when I dunked on somebody, it's even crazier because I wasn't supposed to dunk on anybody, and man, at that point, that was my freshman year. I was like, man, I would do anything to go to Rutgers and try to play.
Hmm.
Anything, man. Tell people what's that like because it's just so historic. I mean, Chamberlain played there. Julius Irving who was my childhood idol played there. All these guys have played there. I don't know. I played with a guy in Greece called Lloyd Daniels, Sweet Pea. I know you remember Lloyd, right? I know he's
Yeah,
a little
yep,
bit
yep.
before your time, but
Yeah, but before my time, but I heard the name for sure.
yeah. I mean, it's just crazy, man. What was it
Yeah.
like to go out? Because that's not just going out and playing like I did at Edgerton Park.
Yeah.
This is go out playing against guys that either are pro, could be pro, or
Yep.
should have been pro.
Yep. Yep.
And there's nobody else because there's no scrubs getting on that court with you.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, like you said, man, just it's such a like it's just such a historic like venue. It's such a historic place.
I
Like,
mean, it's the Mecca before Madison Square Garden was called the Mecca. I
yeah,
mean, I think Madison Square Garden is named after Rucker Park.
yeah, it's like the outside MSG. It's like the outside
Right.
Madison Square Garden, man. It's
Yeah.
the place is unbelievable. Like at its peak, it was no, like for me personally, I just remember the images of like when Julius Erving played and
Right.
like how packed the park was, and like you see
Right.
people like on top of the gates, and you see people on top of the buildings, and like people just trying every way possible to get in the park. Like it was crazy, and that image right there was one of the images that stuck in my head and made me say like I want to play at Rucker Park one day. Like I have to. Like, I just have to play in that park one day. And I was very fortunate enough to play in that park. I had some great moments there. The energy in that place is unbelievable. It's second to none. Also got a championship there. I think I was what 16. I think
16.
16 years old. I won a championship in there. Yep, yep. With the older guys too. It was pretty amazing. It was
Wait a
pretty.
minute, wait a minute. That even makes you more important of a player than them because I think after 18 you had to pay to get in, didn't you? I,
To Rucker?
I think there was like to be in the league. I thought there was like a fee to pay if you're 18 or over, but if you're younger than 18, you didn't have to pay a fee.
No, no, you didn't have to pay. If you was good, they you good enough, they're gonna pick you up, man. Everybody want to win. Everybody want to win the EBC. So
Hey, look, I think you just didn't know the rules. I think you got in for free, but after those first 2 years of winning a championship, they're like, hey, he don't pay anymore. He's on scholarship.
that was good times, man. Good times. Good times.
Yeah, and during the timeout, you ever break down any of your dance skills?
Nah, nah, nah. They had the people for that. They had the stuff like that. Rucker Park is famous for that. During dead ball timeouts, they get people from out the crowd and
Right.
stuff like that, and have fun. And yeah,
You couldn't compete with them or what?
I couldn't compete with them. Nah.
Come on, you did the Apollo Theater. When I read that, I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, Apollo
Yeah,
Theater at 9 years old?
yeah. I did it a few times actually, like 2 or 3 times. I competed at the Apollo with this group from my neighborhood. Yep,
Okay, so you're like a dance group.
it was a dance group.
All
Yeah,
right.
it was like two boys. It was me and this other guy from my building, and then I think it was like I want to say like 7 or 8 girls. I think on the dance team with us, something like that.
Uh,
Yeah. It was pretty good.
did y'all win?
We No, we didn't win the Apollo competition. We made it to about like the second, I think the second day maybe, because you had to
Uh,
you had to keep advancing in order to get on a TV show, I believe. But I think we got to about like the second or third day, and then we didn't make it after that. Yeah.
so this is like what's that? The music show and all that, or what's that? The dance one now, where you just keep getting voted in and out. You keep going. Is it kind of like that? Is it one
Yeah,
of those
basically.
things?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
it was pretty similar to that. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I feel like y'all's problem was. I never saw you dance before, but Future Flavors. I don't know about that name, man. I'm, I'm, I
That
don't
was
know
a
that. I
long
don't know if
time
that name got y'all very far.
ago. That was a long time ago, man. Very long time ago.
Now you went cross town to go to high school,
Hmm.
right? I mean, cross town. It's not
Yeah.
like north side, south side, whatever. But you still went cross town. You
Yeah.
broke barriers to go to a private high school
Yeah.
in Rice High School. I mean, I kind of heard of Rice's reputation before, but I learned a lot more since I've been doing this research. I mean, there was a school that was they were breeding basketball players. It wasn't
Sure.
it wasn't like you just went to play for the next town over. You went to play somewhere where you were looking for a career.
Yeah.
Is what I assume
Yeah.
by that.
Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. Something like that. I mean, for me, yes, like Rice. We from New York. Everybody knows about Rice.
Right.
Like we were just a powerhouse for basketball. We had a lot of great New York City players go to Rice High School. Um, for me, a lot of guys, like especially from my freshman class, like going into Rice, I wasn't even like one of the bigger names to go there. There was a lot of guys, like a lot of the
Right.
top guys in the city. I really wanted to go there because one of my friends was already went there. He already went there from my junior high school to my neighborhood.
Mm.
He had already went there.
Did he play ball too?
He did. He played
He played
basketball.
ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
He was like a really good basketball player in my junior high school. He was my friend. We were really
Right.
close. And he went to Rice. So I was going just to kind of go with him,
Right.
and play basketball as well. But you know, and that's kind of where my career kind of started. My freshman year, um, it wasn't the greatest. I didn't get a chance to play much basketball that year. Um,
But that's kind of how it was back then too, though. I mean,
yeah,
you had to kind of come in and earn your way.
have to earn your way, man. You have to earn your way. Like I
Yeah.
said, you already had like a lot of the top guys already in the school. Um, but then after my freshman year, a lot of guys just didn't make it. A lot of guys just didn't make it throughout the school year. A lot of guys
Right.
out, and it kind of made space for me and a lot of other guys to, kind of, enhance our game and enhance our roles and stuff like that. Um, in sophomore year, I played varsity for the first time. I played behind a guy named Edgar Sosa,
Right. Right. Right.
who's one of my best friends to this day. Um, and he was a senior my sophomore year. Um, and I don't know, man. Words can't even explain how much I learned from him, and his the the visuals I have like to this day of this guy. Like his work ethic was like one of the best I ever seen. And this is at what he's 16, 17 years old.
Right.
Like he works so hard. Like he is a definition of hard work for me. Like in my life, like I seen this guy like put in so much work. And from that point on, like that's kind of where I think I kind of got my work ethic from. Like seeing him work every day, man, it was unbelievable. Like we're just in high school. I'm like how is he working like this? Like so yeah, man. From that point on, learning from him, in that year, and when he left up until my junior year, just got more opportunity. And then last year, my senior year, which was a really really great year for me. With high school basketball, even AAU basketball was great. I got into the McDonald's All-American game as well.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, man, some great years at Rice, man. It was really unbelievable. That school has made me who I am today. To be honest, it was a really really special school. Really special people. I even still have friends from that school to this day, man.
That's
Like
great, man. That's
20
great.
plus years, relationships, man. Like love my high school. Love, love,
That's
love, love. Yeah.
that's what it's all about, man. Building relationships and having those memories. You
Yeah.
also play with the Gauchos, and the Gauchos are just like, for us up in upstate New York, y'all were, it's like every time anybody from AU saw the Gauchos on your schedule, like, no, hell no.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
my
Yep.
boy. I mean, there's a ton of guys that I can mention the Gauchos, but Easy Ed Pickney.
Oh
He,
yeah. I know Ed.
Ed and I are boys. We play together in Sacramento, and we've been good friends ever since, man. But uh, I said mentioned Julius Erving as being my idol growing up. Who was that guy when you were growing up that you looked to, and you were just other than your boy about his work ethic? But I'm talking about like you watch on the NBA platform and like, man, I want to be like him. I want to style my game after him.
Um, I mean, obviously MJ. Like, like MJ is like the standard. Obviously, like
Yeah. All right, so we don't have to have the discussion about LeBron and everybody else, right? You and I
no,
don't need to
not
have
for me.
that discussion. Okay,
Not for
all
me.
right, good.
Not for me. Not
Good.
for
That
me.
that that saves a couple minutes for me to talk about other things with you because I hate having that discussion.
Yeah, I'm an MJ guy, man. Yeah, I can't ever go against a goat like that. But for me, I would say it's two guys. First, it's Allen Iverson. Uh,
That's what I was going to say. You kind of reminded me of because of your body frame and everything else. It's just like you know you look like you had that. I mean, Allen just did it in a different way. You know what I
mhm.
mean? But you look like you got that killer mentality. But Allen just looked like he actually wanted to kill somebody.
Yeah,
But y'all have that same style about you.
yeah, man. AI,
Sick.
yeah, man. Like
Just
he, yeah, he made me kind of. tap into a whole different just play. Like
Right.
I was just so tough. Like his fearlessness was unreal. Like especially at his size, and then everything he'd been through,
Right.
off the court.
Yep. Exactly.
Like he just been through so much. And
That's AI is one of those guys that wasn't supposed to make it.
yeah, man, yeah, but he did.
He
He
had
still got
everything
through,
against him.
still got through it.
Mm,
Still ended up being one of the greatest players to ever play this game. At a at a small size.
yeah.
Just got to appreciate that. And I appreciate him. Like yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites all time. Then another guy is Tim Hardaway.
Okay. All right.
Hardaway is one of my favorites, man. Like another guy who's just tough, tough.
Yeah.
He's a big trash talker though. Big trash talker. He's a big.
Tim was one of the biggest shit talkers I've ever seen in my life, man.
He
It's like,
still talk trash to his day. If you see him, he still will talk some trash. Man, that guy is unbelievable. But
yeah,
yeah.
but I'm sure Michael ain't far behind.
Oh no. He's he's not far behind at all. He is top tier at
I
trash.
I always thought Larry Bird was the best trash talker of all, man, because he would just make you feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
Larry was crazy too, but that's how it used to be, where people used to talk trash. You don't see people talk trash anymore.
Few guys, just a few guys, but yeah, not much. Not much. It's a few guys. Draymond is one of those guys.
Yeah, but you got to you have to get into it to trash talk. Like before, it's like you came out trash talking at the jump ball. In the warm ups, you were trash talking.
Yeah. It depends. You got some guys. You got some guys who might do a little trash talking every now and then.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, talk to me about this. I mean, a lot of people. I want to go quick on this, but it's an important part of your life. I think it's a huge part of your life. A lot of people watch the NCAA madness, the big dance, and everything else, but they don't understand how people get there. Sometimes I think, and when I'm obviously I'm talking about European people that aren't experienced with it. And the Big East is, back when I played, it was unbelievable. When you played, it was still at its peak. It was starting to go down, but it was still at a pretty heavy peak. And I mean, y'all were like in ninth place. Y'all had to play the play-in game to get. If you win the Big East tournament, or if you win, whoever wins the tournament gets into the NCAA Big Dance. If you don't, you're out essentially. And you might be a guy, you might be one or two teams on the bubble, but when you're in ninth place in the Big East, you ain't on the bubble.
Yeah.
So y'all had to win 5 games straight, wasn't it?
I mean, we did. We won 5. We probably didn't have to at some point. I'm sure.
Well, yeah, okay. To get into the dance, but y'all won 5 games straight.
We did.
To win it.
We did. Yeah.
And that's an automatic bid.
Yep. Automatic bid.
And to me, that's maybe harder than what you guys actually did in the tournament, in the NCAA tournament.
Yes, I could agree.
That's almost impossible to do in the Big East.
Yeah, I could most definitely agree. To me, the NCAA tournament was a little bit easier than in the Big East tournament.
Yeah, but you play 2 games, you have a week off. You play 2 games, you have a week off. Here in the Big East tournament, it's a weekend.
Yeah, 5 days, 5 games in 5 days.
And the Big East wasn't the West Coast. Nothing, we're East Coast guys, and I hate to talk bad about the West Coast, but the West Coast didn't play hard. The West Coast is just kind of like they play good basketball, but they didn't beat each other up like they did in the Big East.
The Big East is tough, man. The Big East is tough. That's what it's known for,
Right.
Being
and why didn't you go to St. John's?
I don't know. It just wasn't the right fit for me, I don't think.
Really?
UConn was my dream school. So when I got that opportunity to go there, I mean, yeah, it was. I couldn't turn it down.
Calhoun coached against me, man, when I was at Niagara University. He was at Boston University.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and man, he was a great coach, man. He's tough as nails, though. You don't want to get on his wrong side. I can tell you that.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Hey, NBA wise now, I mean, who we just talked about, NJ. All right, Michael Jordan. He now owns the Hornets, right? The Bobcats, whatever you want to call them. I don't, what you prefer the Bobcats or the Hornets?
The Hornets for sure.
The Hornets for sure,
Came,
right?
I came into the Bobcats, but then we went into the Hornets. But yeah,
Right, exactly. Not only does he draft you, but he trades up to get to you.
hmm
You know, I mean that was his whole purpose of trading up to try to go get Kemba Walker.
yeah,
Man, that number one, it's got to feel incredible
yeah.
that the GOAT is coming up to get you. But number two, dude, I'd be scared as. I mean, you had to be a little bit nervous, right?
A little bit, a
I
lot.
mean,
I was a lot. I
a
was
lot nervous. Yeah, I'm like, this MJ coming to get me, and
yeah,
I need to ball out now. I need to prove to him that I can be who he thinks I am.
for sure. Nah, it was really cool. It was really cool. I mean, when they drafted me, when you get drafted, you got to go on talk on the phone.
Right.
The one He was the one who got on the phone, so I got a chance to talk to him.
That was the first time you talked to him.
That was yes, yeah. No, not really. I spoke to him once before that, but yeah,
but he didn't remember you then, did he?
No, he did. That was during the draft process, so he
okay. Oh, okay. All right.
yeah, during the draft process, I spoke to him a little bit. But yeah, that phone call was pretty cool. He basically told me, you know, how excited he was to have me, how he traded up to get the pick and to get me, and he expects a lot out of me. So yeah, that was definitely nerve-wracking, but I appreciated it. It's MJ.
Where were you when you got the phone call?
This was like during the draft. Like I had to go to the back and stuff like
Right.
that.
Okay. So you were there. You attended it. Were your folks with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep.
What's your father doing?
I don't know, because like when you get drafted, you got to go on the stage and you go.
Right. Yeah.
So they were sat at the table actually, just waiting. Just waiting for me. So when you get drafted, you got to go to the back and do the media.
But I mean, but you're sitting there with them when you get your name called, right?
Yeah.
And your dad knows that Michael Jordan just drafted you.
Oh yeah, he trust me. If anybody know, he know. Sure. That's his guy.
I don't even think he cared about what he's like. Dude, Michael Jordan just drafted you. Get your ass up there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, my dad was super excited, man. He loved MJ. He loved MJ. He the one who showed me all the MJ tapes when I was younger, and yeah, he the one who got me, to love MJ's game and stuff like that. So yeah.
And he got a chance to meet MJ, I'm assuming, right? I'm sure you have. Was he cool?
Who, MJ?
No, your dad.
Dad? Oh yeah. Yeah, he was cool. He was cool. He was excited though, but he was cool.
He didn't tell MJ about how he used to ball on you, like and break you down, right?
No. He just, what did he tell him? I think he might have told him, he might have gave MJ permission to whip my if
with my behind.
Like, if I got a line or something, if I wasn't working or something like that,
I'm sure your mom probably told him the same thing then too. You know what? You go away from home, mom and dad want to make sure someone's there to take care of you.
Sure.
Just the way they did.
Sure.
Your NBA career is amazing, man. The 4 years of All-Star. I mean, to be elected not only as an All-Star selection, but you also got to start the game. That's just crazy stuff, man. I can't imagine like thinking back about being that kid in the Bronx, just like picking up that ball for the first time. That one day you're gonna be on that kind of stage, but I mean, that had to be like. I think it seems like you're the kind of guy that respects every moment, and like no matter how big you've been playing, how good you've been playing, you respect the stage that you're on at that point. That's what it seems like to me for you. It's not like, okay, well, I deserve to be here. You know what I mean? It's like you said, man, I fought for this all my life.
Oh no, for sure. Like when I got my first All-Star, man, like, man, I cried so hard like a little baby. Like, I called my parents and I told them like, because I found out early before they announced it, so I called both my parents and I just broke down like it was just such a great feeling, like
Dude, that's awesome,
just
man.
getting it all. I just couldn't believe it, to be honest. Like, wow, like NBA, like all-star, like that's like the best of the best. You know what I
I
mean?
mean that's because the people are picking you. Everybody that you either play against, you're being coached against, you're being coached by the
Exactly.
fans, everybody.
Yes, that's like
And 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 I mean, I love Charlotte. I spent a lot of time in Charlotte. I used to date a girl from there back then. I lived in South Carolina,
yeah,
and I lived in Charleston, and I love going up and down there. But I mean, it's not an NBA market. You know what I mean? You didn't get in the NBA All Star team because you're from LA and like millions of people were able to vote for you.
uh-huh.
Charlotte's a small city. It's a small market. So you
Yeah,
were in the respect of everybody.
yeah, nah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, it was a really surreal feeling, man. Really cool, really, really cool, man. To be able to get that honor is special, definitely.
I always like to talk about this with players when I do this because there's a lot of young guys like to watch this especially I think with you being Kemba Walker. I think that a little bit more people are going to watch it. You've
Mhm.
been through a lot of injury issues, with your knee and his shoulder, stuff like that. How hard is that for you, to get through those moments? I mean, I know you gotten through a couple of them where you come back even better, but it seems like you've been injury played, you know, not in a way where it's affected you as a ball player, but as the years go on, it seems like it's getting in your way just a little bit more. What does that do to you mentally? How do you try to get better? How do you get through those moments? Because those are hard moments for guys, man. When they're at the top of their game, and all of a sudden, boom, you got to start over again.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, man. Like, injuries, it come with the territory.
Yeah.
You know, the more you play this game, the longer you play, the chances are, you're gonna have some type of injury. For me, the last couple of years, it's definitely been very, very tough for me, man. Dealing with the knee and stuff like that. But you know, my love for the game, is what keeps me going. Like, I love to play basketball. It's what brings me joy. Um, it's what takes my mind off every single thing that goes on in my life. Um,
Right.
I really, really just love to play basketball. So, it's what keeps me going each and every day, no matter how hard it is. But also support. You
Hmm.
have to have a great support system. Which I have. You know, especially here now that I'm here in Monaco with these guys and my trainers, who have been super supportive, uh, in building me up, help getting me stronger, uh,
Hmm.
helping me day by day, just being able to get on the court, um, physically and mentally. It's been great. It's been great. Yeah, but injuries, they can be tough. They can
Yeah.
be very tough, but it's all about your mindset. Um, it's all about how you attack it. It's about your approach. Mentally, you have to be really strong. I think, man, you have to be really strong to overcome some tough adversity.
Yeah, I mean sometimes because you're not only overcoming the physical part of it, you're overcoming the mental part of it, man. Because sometimes it's so hard to go out there and watch your team play, and you just can't be out there. It's
One of the hardest things for sure.
that was the hardest thing, man. It was just like, man, I was, just want to be out there and be able to
Yeah.
play ball. But so all this kind of brings you over here. All right, and I like the fact that the team's taking care of you. They're like kind of like walking along and everything else. In your first game, first of all, one of my main questions, I guess, is because you had a tough time. You went what 7 years or 6 years in Charlotte, and you had yourself a great career. Then all of a sudden, it was like you going through that cycle of getting this team, that team,
Mhm.
go here, go there, the right straight at here, the right straight at, and that's when it kind of becomes bullshit. The whole NBA thing, it's like, damn man, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah.
So you've kind of had those both spectrums. Before all this happened, how many times did you know anything about Europe? How many times, other than like talking to European players that maybe play in the NBA, was there ever a thought like, well, maybe someday I'll go play in Europe?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was
How much did you know about Europe? Because I'm from New York, man. When they sent me over here, I had no idea where I was going. Let's be
yeah.
honest.
I mean, not too much. I've had some friends. No, I've
Right.
had some friends that played out here in Europe. So, then obviously some teammates over the years. I played with a lot of French guys actually.
Well, you play with Tony Parker.
I did. I
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
as,
I played with quite a few French guys, maybe about 6 or 7 actually. Yeah.
if you talk to any American person, especially from San Antonio, they swear Tony Parker ain't French. It's like the Rolling Stones. Americans, we just kind of like we kind of adopt the foreign
Uh-huh.
people that are successful. No, Tony's got to be American.
Yeah. Oh, that's my guy right there.
Have you seen him yet? Have y'all played
I have.
against? Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
we played. Yeah, we played as well.
Okay.
I seen him, man. It was so good to see him. It's been quite some time since I've seen him. So, yeah, it was really cool to see him. Yeah, Tony's one of my favorites, man.
The first game, like I know the teams kind of bring you along and everything else, but the first game you go play against you, I mean, it's unbelievable. The way time just kind of like reunites itself. Your first game is against Chapaz,
Uh huh.
against them, and I mean, what are you thinking about Savannah Vesda when you walk into this arena and I mean, you probably try to talk to him and say, "What's up?" You can't even hear him, can you? With all those people
Yeah.
yelling and screaming.
Yeah, it was loud in there. It was loud in there. That was really cool. That was a really cool atmosphere. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, me and Babs, we talk all the time. So
Right.
we spoke before the game. I got a chance to see him in the back. Yeah, gave him a big hug, man. That's my little brother right there. So it
Yeah.
was really, really cool to play against him. I really just wanted to win. I wanted to beat him. That's it. That's all I can ask. That's all I can ask.
That's not the first time y'all played against each other, though, right?
No, it's not. We played against each other quite a few times in the league.
Right. So
Besides,
what's the record? Because never another. I know you're like 1-29 against LeBron James.
oh, yeah,
I laugh, man. My people from ING sent me sent me a bunch of research. That was
yeah,
one of the main things they put. He was 0-28 against LeBron James
yeah,
until one day they won.
yeah. I take my one win for sure.
And so, to you now, what's your plans? I mean, you're here in the EuroLeague. First of all, the short time that you've been here, the short time that you've played, it seems like you just kind of get yourself adapted and everything else, and get a new life, and new lifestyle. What do you think is the biggest difference on a nightly basis or on a daily basis from EuroLeague and NBA through the short time of experience you've had? I mean, because our motto here is every game matters,
Hmm.
and in the NBA, even our boy MJ never took a night off. You can take a night off every now and then, But here it seems like there's no way you can take a night off. What
I
are,
mean,
what are the things that you see between the two leagues?
yeah, I mean, it's not even about taking the night off. It's just, the NBA is a lot of nights. It's a lot.
Exactly, exactly.
It's
A
more,
lot of consecutive nights
yeah,
too.
more games in a week. It's more
Mhm.
travel. Um, it's just tougher, to be honest, on the body. Here, you have one game a week, sometimes two. A little bit less travel at times.
Mhm.
I think that's some of the biggest difference for sure. And playing one EuroLeague game, in a week, to me, you should go out there and play super hard and give it all you
Right.
got. Um, I think that's really some of the biggest differences, the amount of games per week.
Right.
And then
And
the
I mean,
game is just different as well.
it's more of a defensive game here too. It's a little bit. I mean, although it's over the years, it's become less physical. when you can't plan on stopping anybody in the NBA because of isolations or whatever. You're not going to stop LeBron James no matter how many defense you put on him. But it seems like out here, there's ways. It's tougher to score sometimes for NBA players that come out here, but they don't have as much. Number one, you don't have as much freedom to do what you want most of the time, depending on the team you play for or the coach you play for. Number two is with the zone, with the concept of the zone defense, anybody come over double team at any time and take the ball out of your hands. So, I mean, are you finding that to be more difficult of a transition also on the court?
Just the spacing is different. The spacing is a lot different. Yeah, it's similar to college where you can sit in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
It's no defense for 3 seconds.
Right.
So yeah, it's just the spacing is one of the differences between
or the lack of spacing.
The lack
of spacing, yeah. And what about adapting to a new lifestyle? I mean, Monaco is pretty, it's pretty foreign. Let's say there's people from everywhere in Monaco, but when you travel to other places, man, you see these other things. Is it? I mean, what? Again, I go back to that because I always go back to, man. Every now and then I'll be in a vacation in Greece somewhere. I'll be invited to be an ambassador for a thing. I'm just like, man, I was just this little dude in Rochester, New York, man, just trying to find my way, stay out of trouble, and make sure I didn't disappoint mom and dad to go home and get a whooping, and now I'm here, isn't it crazy?
Nah, for sure. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's cool. For me, it's the reason I came. It's the reason I came. Like I wanted to have a new experience. Like I wanted to try to experience the world, and it's really been a easy adjustment for real.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
It hasn't been bad, man, because I really just I'm in the gym all the time or I'm home. That's the same thing I do back in the States.
You've always been like that. They say you weren't much like a party. You don't go out that much. You don't. You don't.
No, every now and then, of course, I love it myself, just like everybody else. I'm not a square. You know what I mean? But I love to, I love to be home though. I love to be in the house. I'm really a homebody. But every now and then I love to get out and enjoy myself for sure. But here, like I said, it was just really an easy transition because of I can credit that to the people around here, to be honest, like the staff, the coaching staff, mostly the players. Like these guys, like welcome me with open arms, man, like treating me really well, with a lot of respect. Just really made my transition super easy. And, as someone who, coming from the States, to Europe for the first time, to be here for quite some time, all you can ask for is, to be welcome, in the right way. And that's something that I kind of appreciate a lot, my teammates. Like these guys, some of the best teammates I've had,
That's great.
To be honest, like these guys are amazing. Like I love being around these guys every day. Like I appreciate, waking up every morning and, knowing that I'm coming to practice with these guys. Like I'm coming to be around these guys because, they make it fun. They make it really, really fun for me.
I think that's another difference too. There's a lot more camaraderie over here than, you're always together. You're always doing things together, the dinners, the lunches, the travel, and everything else. And
they do. It's similar to college. It's very similar to college. Very
exactly. Yeah. The NBA, you can travel 4 days in a row and not see a teammate unless you're dressed up in the locker room. No
question. That's very, very true.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But what do you think? The other one asking the question I had was, is my boy taking care of you? I call him the European MJ, Mike James.
He is, man. He is.
Yeah. Mike's my boy now. Mike's my boy. I love me some Mike James, man.
Yeah. No, he's been great, man. He's been great. He's been great. Like he's fun to be around. I love watching him play as well. Like he's killing it right now.
That boy can just straight up ball, can he?
Oh yeah, he's a bucket. He is a bucket. He's a bucket, man. He's really fun to watch. I've been enjoying it. He's made it easy for me as well, man. You know, he's
Right.
easy for me as well. So I can't complain at all. These dudes, they've been great. They've been great.
I met Mike through one of his agents, and we got to know each other over the last couple of years and everything. I finally got him on the show, because Mike's quiet, man. Mike doesn't like this.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the spotlight. He doesn't like to talk. But I said, come on, man, you gotta let me get you on. And he got on, man. We had a great conversation, and I think the best part of the interview that I did with him was it kind of got rid of a lot of misconceptions of who he is as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people think that he's this this guy that, man, he's just got character, man. He wants to be the best that he could be. He wants his team to be the best that they could be at all times. And when it doesn't go right, he's not going to stay quiet about it.
Nah, yeah.
But he's probably the guy I did the most research on as far as like reaching out to other players that he's played with to talk to them. And man, there wasn't one person that said anything bad about Mike.
Yeah.
And so many other people in the press and everything else say stuff bad about him. I'm like, man, that's one of the coolest guys I've ever talked to.
Yeah, nah, he is, man. He's super cool, man. Super cool.
And smart too.
Yeah. He is smart.
Yeah.
He's very smart. He knows a lot. He knows a lot. Yeah, cool.
All right, well, we're gonna find out how smart you are right now. I'm sure they told you about the EuroLeague test, right?
Oh man.
This is it. I'm done with you, man. This is it. This is one of the shortest interviews I've done because I wanted to be quick with you, but I got to get this tested, otherwise they kill me. And I'm going to tell you, between you and I, the guy you spoke to before, Pablo, I think he made it easy on you, man. I think he made it easy on you. So I'm going to tell you how it goes. There's 5 questions, all right? 5 questions. Each one is worth 10 more points, incrementing points. 10 points for the first one, 22nd, 33rd, 44th, 55th, right? I think our record's 100. I don't know. I've been doing this for so long. I've been doing this for so long now. I don't know, but you might be able to do all right, man. You're gonna feel comfortable with the first one. You ready for question number 1?
I think so.
If you get question number 1 right, question number 2, you got a 50-50 chance at it. So here we go. Here's question number 1. Which actual Red Star player is a former teammate of yours?
Oh, Shabazz Napier.
There you go. See that, man? You got 10 points.
All right.
We like to make you feel comfortable in the first one. All right. Yes or no? All right. True or false, yes or no, whatever you want to call it. Did Monaco arrive to the EuroLeague championship game last year?
No.
There you go, man. Look at it. You got 30 points already. They lost in the semifinals of Olympiacos. You got that one right. This is number 3, worth 30 points. Which actual FC Barcelona player was drafted in the 6th position of your NBA draft year?
Jean Vesley.
Look at you. 60 points.
Remember that one?
I told Pablo the other day, my man, this might be too easy. Just because he's a 4-time NBA All-Star, we ain't got to make it easy on him. Question number 4 with 40. You're at what, 50, 60 points. Who is the league average top scorer as of today, round 9 in the EuroLeague?
Mike James.
Nah, you got that one wrong.
No?
No, Mirotic.
Who is it? Mirotic? I got some bad info. We was just talking about that, me and one of my friends. I'm going to get him when I get home. I got some bad info.
Every now and then we got to double check my boy Pablo just to make sure. But Nikola Mirotic is at 19.1 points per game, and Chima Monaco is at 18.
Okay.
And I'm not. How much is Mike averaging?
I thought it was 18.
I thought he was up there too.
Yeah, I thought it was 18, but I don't know.
Yeah, you know. You may have a complaint right there because we were supposed to do this interview last week and we both got kind of messed up on our schedule. So let's see if anything changes.
Hey, he might have been last week. I don't know.
Might have been a change. We'll have to see. All right, but you still got your 60 points. You get a 110 right if you get this one. Which actual teammate of yours right now lost the Euro Cup finals against AS Monaco in 2020, 2021?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know this, but I'm gonna guess somebody. I'm gonna say Ellie.
Damn, I thought you had it, man. I thought you had, for some reason, I thought you were gonna say it, John Brown.
John Brown, oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that one.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're like a 1 in 12 possibility to get that one right. Hey, man, my man Kemba, thank you so much for taking the time for being with me on the crossover, man. I really appreciate it. It was great to meet you in person the other day. Even better to talk to you right now, get to know you, man. You're just a class act, 100%, man. No matter how much fame you've had, and you will have, whatever. Everything is great, man. So talking to you is like talking to one of my boys back home, man. You make everybody around you feel comfortable. That's not an easy thing to do.
Sure, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on the show. It was great to meet you.
Great to meet you too, man. Now you can go say you know what the crossover is. I know you never watched one before.
Now I know. I'm gonna have to go catch some episodes, man.
Yeah, catch some episodes. Go catch some Mike James episode. You'll like it. You'll like that one.
Backtrack on that one for sure.
All right, my man.
All right.
Good talking to you. Thanks, Kemba.
Yes, sir.